Those the same ones say they love you, late and funny, You can't match my energy, and yeah, you know it, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Way too cold, yeah, man, I'm way too cold, Yes, I meant it, yeah, man, I'm way too cold,
What is going on, everybody? Pete Simonetti here for NyynewsTV. And guys, we got a pretty special video for you today, man. I want to talk about Gerrit Cole and Carlos Rodon, the significant historic impact that they can have in Major League Baseball, because very rarely do we get to see a somewhat dominating 1-2 punch. Now, it's something that I think baseball fans always love. Look, whether you're a fan or not, you gotta hope that the Don is on a lot this year. NyynewsTV.com. Sorry for the cheap plug, but we do what we gotta do over here. There's always been a cool thing about a potential dominating 1-2 punch in Major League Baseball. Kind of the thing we talk about too with the 3-4 hitter in a lineup, best back-to-back hitters, who makes the most significant impact on a club. Well, I think that Carlos Rodon and Gerrit Cole have the chance to be in that category of the best 1-2 punches in Major League Baseball. And there's a few good ones out there as of right now. We're going to talk about some of those, but historically there's been great ones. Are these guys going to ever match up to Koufax and Drysdale, Glavine and Maddox, Curt Schilling and Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling? Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee is one we're going to actually look at. And of course, even right now, the New York Mets, the crosstown rivals of the Yankees, have Verlander and Schilling now in the first year, where Justin Verlander is coming off like, what, a under 2 ERA, and Scherzer, even though he wasn't as healthy, but when he was on the mound, he was quite dominating. But even if you just go back and go, well, why Cole and Rodon? Well, you're also looking at two of the most dominating strikeout pitchers in Major League Baseball. The funny thing is, they're actually kind of different of each other, and we're going to discuss that a little bit too, but between each other last year, these guys had 494 strikeouts. They'll be well above 500 Ks combined as long as they both stay healthy, and health is something we'll talk about, but let's actually go ahead and discuss Gerrit Cole first. So let's get that pulled up and let's go over some stuff with Gerrit Cole. Speaking of last year specifically, look, everybody knows one of my offseason predictions last year was that Gerrit Cole would not have the ace season that everybody expects. Biggest problem with Gerrit Cole was a couple of things did not work in Gerrit Cole's factor. One, he gave the most career home runs he ever had in his career of 33. His best year of all time, arguably back in 2019, gave up 29 home runs. So not a big significant change there. Hits per 9, not a huge jump. There wasn't really a standout jump here. It's just I think location was a problem. And look, I'm the first one to say it. I've said this a lot. I've talked about this a lot. I do think Spider Tack really benefited Gerrit Cole. I'm not saying it didn't benefit anybody. I'm not plugging this on him. I think fastball command was a major problem for Gerrit Cole last year. And I think it led to a lot of these other problems of him leaving balls over the plate, that home runs going up a bit. But overall, just not being the same guy location-wise. Each year with the Yankees, the ERA has gone up. Don't really look at 2020. It was the COVID season, so it really kind of affected it a little bit. But still a dominating pitcher. Broke the New York Yankees record for most strikeouts in a single season with 257. So it's who he is. Gerrit Cole, by all means, is a dominating starting pitcher. We all know who this guy is, what this guy can do, and he's the ace of the Yankees as of right now. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little more excited about Carlos Rodon, and this is a video from Marley Rivera today when it comes to Gerrit Cole, but I'm actually a little more excited about the possibility of what Carlos Rodon is going to mean to the Yankees. And before we get into that, I also want to talk about somewhat of the differences between these guys, right? Carlos Rodon, as we're about to get to, is different in the sense that this guy doesn't really get hit. And, well, we'll switch on over real quick and show you what I'm talking about here. Now, the first thing you'll see about Carlos Rodon is this guy going to stay healthy? That's the number one concern because, look, any pitcher could be injured, but the one thing you can say about Gerrit Cole, if you look at this here, Gerrit Cole has thrown more than 180 innings every year since 2017. COVID year, take it out the way, 2020, forget about it. Every year he's given you above 180. Carlos Rodon has never done that. He came very close last year, 178 innings. The year before that, 132. So he may have found something that has worked for him. Something that feels like it's keeping his body healthy and he's doing better under whatever it might be. A lot of guys are big into weightlifting early on. Then they kind of go more towards yoga, stretching, things of that nature. Maybe a little more resistance training. And I don't know. We don't have no facts on that. But hopefully he's hitting that stride now where he's actually on the field. But when Carlos Rodon is on the field, you are looking at one of the most dominating pitchers in Major League Baseball. And really, it's not too close and it's not really debatable. Again, you go by the case per nine. 12 last year, led the National League. His FIP, 2.25. His ERA anyway was in the mid-twos. Little high twos, 2.88. Year before that, 2.37. But again, 237 Ks and only 178 innings. So to get to that 250 mark, Rodon is just going to have to go above 180 plus innings. And the big factor that I love of Rodon and Gerrit Cole is that Rodon does not give up the long ball. Now, you're probably saying, well, Pete, he played in San Francisco. They kind of got a large outfield out there. Well, he also played in Chicago and never gave it up, and that's a home run stadium. The White Sox, a home run stadium, never gave up homers. The most home runs Carlos Rodon has ever given up was back in 2016, as you see right there, 23 bombs and 165 innings. But this is a guy, again, last year, 170 innings, 12 home runs. The year before that with the White Sox, 132 innings, 13 home runs given up. Yankee Stadium is made for power lefties on both sides of the ball, hitting and pitching. If you're a power lefty and you're in Yankee Stadium, you've got a much better chance of not giving up the long ball. But the crazy thing about Carlos Rodon is he doesn't really give up hits. 6.6 hits per nine, career 7.8. In 847 innings pitched. So Carlos Rodon's not a guy that is typically going to get slapped around in an entire game. He's typically going to be pretty strong. And the main thing about him throughout his career, again, has just been, can he stay healthy enough to maintain a full season? But when it comes to pure dominance, when it comes to who might be the more dominating pitcher, Gerrit Cole, no doubt about it, has the longevity, has the durability that you can rely on. You never know what can happen with starting pitchers. But Cole, no doubt about it, has the guy to say, look, man, if we need 180 plus innings, I'm going to give you that. I might even give you more than that, 200 plus. It's what I do. Cole has done it a lot. Carlos Rodon is just the guy you kind of cross your fingers and go, just stay on the mound. Just stay on the mound. Just stay on the mound. Because his fastball is probably the best fastball for a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball based on guys trying to hit him. They don't hit him. They don't hit him. And he challenges you. He goes at you. He's not a guy out there that's walking a ton of guys. He's not the Robbie Ray type that, hey, look, he'll put up the strikeout numbers, but he's also going to give up homers and he's also going to walk some guys. Carlos Rodon, as long as he's on that mound and he's healthy, you really got everything you want from a starting pitcher. He's a bulldog. He goes right at you. Gerrit Cole has shown a lot of bulldog in him. I just need to see Cole kind of revert a little back to what he was before. But here's the beautiful thing about that whole situation. Carlos Rodon today, I might have it. Let me see if this video here, it is from SNY. But that's him talking about something else. Let me switch on over. This is Carlos Rodon just discussing some things today. But one of the great things that he said was, I'm ready for the competition. This is him talking about Cole and himself. I'm ready for the competition. This is something I have been talking about year after year after year with the Yankees is Gerrit Cole needs another co-ace. He needs somebody out there that's going to push him daily to say, hey, man, you may not be the big dog around here no more. I'm here to take that job. I'm here to do that. I think this man that you're looking at right here is going to be that guy because, again, based solely on Rodon's numbers, as long as he is on the mound, the guy is an absolute dog. An absolute dog. And we're hopeful. We're hopeful that we do get the full chance to see these guys because I love to see where they would take the Yankees. Now, what other lefty-righty combinations do we have out there? Righty-lefty combinations. Off the top of my head, I do look at Seattle. You got Luis Castillo. And then you got Robbie Ray there with them. Guys that could really light it up. Guys that could put up a lot of those strikeout numbers. But I don't believe to the level that you'll see Rodon and Gerrit Cole do this year for the Yankees. Now, Robbie Ray, I think, might have... Let me double check this real quick because I do feel like Robbie Ray actually still holds the greatest K per 9 of all time, which is a pretty damn cool stat. Let me see if he still has it based off last year, and I think he actually does. Let's see if I'm right on that. Maybe he doesn't. It does not look like he does. It went down last year to 10.1. But career-wise, it's at 11. 11 Ks per 9. Last year, still 212 Ks. Just a overall solid pitcher. But him and Castillo and him kind of have that same type of mold. We'll see how they do. I do like Rodon better than I like Robbie Ray. But historically, I looked for a couple of guys that are a 1-2 punch. Not really similar, but I believe can cause the same type of impact on a ball club like Rodon and Cole can do for the Yankees. Going back to 2011 to Philadelphia Phillies. I'm going to get this pulled up on the screen for you guys right about now. Let's switch on over. The reason I'm bringing this up, Roy Halladay and Cliff Lee was a righty-lefty combo. Now, don't get me wrong. They're very, very different than Cole and Rodon. Halladay was a guy that relied on a great sinker. Great break, kept the ball on the ground, and was, I mean, you talk about elite. This is an elite pitcher. I mean, elite pitcher. Halladay was unbelievable. Kept the ball on the ground great. Innings after innings after innings, he just go out there and throw. We see that 2011 season right there, 233 innings. Spoiler alert, no matter what happens, Rodon and Cole not doing that. Understand it's back in 2011. Guys were still able to go pretty long back in those good old days, so to say. But again, threw a lot of innings, had 220 Ks, but it took him a lot of innings, of course, to get there. If Rodon goes 233 innings, you might have almost 300 plus Ks. Same thing for Gerrit Cole. But you're looking at just the domination of this guy. I mean, the impact he obviously made in this team. Didn't give up home runs. We know that hits per 9 was still a solid number. Didn't walk anybody. And you switch on over to his partner in crime that year, Cliff Lee. 232 innings again. Also, spoiler alert, Cole and Rodon will not be doing that. What was the ERA that year? 240 ERA. Again, also did not give up home runs, give up less hits than even Halladay did, and a 9.2 Ks. But both of those guys together had over 450 plus Ks combined. I do think there is a rather strong possibility that we will see Cole and Rodon, as long as they stay on that field, have over 500 strikeouts. And the significance of that to the New York Yankees is any team coming into a series, whether it's a big regular season series or whether it's playoff time, are going to know ahead of time that they have to beat that two-headed monster. And we're not even talking about Severino. We're not even talking about Nestor Cortez, who was one of the biggest breakout starting pitchers in baseball last season. And Luis Severino is coming off of his final year of his deal, who's going to be looked to get big bucks if he has a solid season. We're just talking about the 1-2 punch and the historic and the historic significance it could have in baseball. And on the Yankees, in 2023. So, guys, I tell you what, if I'm excited about anything, I know there's other things out there. I know people are probably going to comment before they watch the whole video, but it's the offense, Peter. It wasn't the pitching. Not what I'm talking about here. I'm specifically talking about the 1-2 punch of the Yankees and how it can make an amazing impact on this club this year for many different reasons. Mentally, your guys could be a little more loose and relaxed, saying, hey, look, we know we got the upper hand. Let's go play ball. And the other team could be sitting there saying, guys, we got our work cut out for us the first 2 games. And again, not counting the other starters the Yankees have, but hey, we got to beat that 2-headed monster to start a series. We better come ready to play ball. So let their mind already be going to play. That's what great pitching does for you. Guys, Yankee fans, I hate to do it to you. You remember 0-1 just like I do. Randy Johnson and Kurt Schilling's the reason the Diamondbacks were able to scrape away that World Series from the New York Yankees. They were the reasons, coming out of the pen, doing whatever it took. And, will anybody be as dominating as that group? Would anybody be as dominating as some of the groups that I talked about today? I'm not sitting here saying that those guys are going to be better or right up there with them. What I'm talking about is the possibility of 500 plus Ks, potential Cy Young between the two, potential leading a team to a World Series. They got that on them. They have that ability. It's about staying on the field and just making it happen. So you guys let me know in the comments below, how excited are you to watch Gerrit Cole and my guy, the Don is on, Carlos Rodon, take the mound for the New York Yankees this year? And do you think by the end of the year, there is a possibility that maybe years from now, we're going to look back and go, man, remember what Cole and Rodon did in 2023? I don't know about you guys, but I am certainly hopeful that we will see that. Like, share, and subscribe to NyynewsTV, the best in New York Yankees news, rumors, and entertainment. I'm Pete Simonetti. Until next time, guys, adios.